this week. For many of you, you will know that I'm actually looking to promote my Be More You program, Loving Yourself More. Because one of the things that I've noticed with my clients is that they are struggling in an area of their life and that they're looking for something that can help them cope even better. And for me, that is about if they love themselves, they wouldn't have to struggle or cope. Life would just be good. You know what it's like, don't you? You get up in the morning and you feel really good and the day just flows and it's just awesome. Well, wouldn't it be great to feel like that all the time? It's not practical, but it's what we would like. And of course, that's the sort of state we want to get into. And one of the ways we can do that is to look after ourselves, to nurture who we are, make sure that we're all okay. So today's meditation is about a different form of healing than we did earlier on in the week, I think. I think we'll go deep today and we're going to do some healing on a deeper level so that you can love those parts of you that you don't love quite so much, whatever they are. And who knows, we'll go on a journey and we'll just see what happens. So all you got to do is get yourself nice and comfortable while I continue to talk to you a little bit more about my program, if that's okay. The Be More You program. It's a 6-week program running from next Sunday on the 7th. And in this program, I'm looking to help people find out how they can start to forgive themselves, to build self-esteem and self-confidence, to let go of old learnings and take on new ones that allow them to have more self-belief in everything they do and the ability to trust. I don't know about you, but every so often I'm making a decision and I'm thinking, is that the right decision? Should I be doing that? Even when choosing a date for this, was this a good date, not a good date? It's learning to trust yourself. It's okay. The ability to value yourself so you can say no when you don't want to do something, or, realize that when you do say yes, you're saying it from a better place than one that's taking away from you. You're able to give it because your cup is already full up. My plan through this 6-week program is to take you through my 5-step model. So the first session will be very much about bringing you up to speed as to what's going on in your life and understanding where that's all come from and why you've got it. And then the 5-step process, which will take you through the different areas that we will focus on that's going to clear whatever it is you need to clear. And then when we've come to the end of the 6 sessions, each of them will have had a meditation, such as you've been experiencing over the last 5 days, that is active. And if you've been following these 5x5 meditations, you know after each one that you feel better. But even better than that is something will have shifted, and you may not notice it straight away. It might only be next week or the week after. You'll look back and think, that's different. What's changed? What's changed is you've shifted at a deeper level, not here, not in your head, but in your heart, in your gut. You've changed. And that's my aim for people joining me on this program. And the aim at the end of that is that somebody will have come in possibly, feeling bad about themselves, feeling that they've got overthinking, faulty thinking, critical thinking going on. They're very negative about themselves, lacking in confidence. Maybe that they don't feel they're good enough as they are, the old imposter syndrome. Really struggling with life at the moment. It doesn't matter what their reason is that channels them to my Be More You program. What matters is that I take them through and at the other end they feel better. That they love themselves, that they can feel more comfortable in their own skin, more confident, with higher self-esteem. So who do you know because this may not be you, but who do you know who might value a program like that? Right now, I'm taking registrations, and I'll put a link in the comments below for people to register their interest. And once I see that people are interested in this, I will send out invites to those people. One of the things that I want to do is part of my mission, which is difficult when I'm seeing people one-to-one, but one of the missions I have is to reach over 1 million people, helping them to become more aware they're beautiful just as they are. There is nothing they need to be. They're flaws and all. I sent a sign, one of these plaques to people you can put on your wall, and it was called Flawsome. Somebody who acknowledges their flaws but still believes they're awesome. I want that for you. Flawsome. But being able to minimize those flaws so that you can work on them for the rest of your life if need be, but you can work on them and just evolve. And I think that's really quite important, isn't it? Evolve. How much is this? If you bring a friend, just imagine you could get double the value. I'm charging £199 for the 6 sessions, 6 guided meditations that you can download and keep. 6 notebooks full of information that will help you, and exercises that we may or may not get time to cover in the sessions. And there's going to be a 7th session as a bonus that will allow us to wrap up and answer any questions and have another guided meditation, or maybe a topic that we didn't get round to. It depends on the group, you see. Some people may want something different to others. So I will be very much tailoring this to the group and what they're looking for. £199, and you can bring a friend for free. How awesome is that? The link will be down below in the comments. Please do register your interest. You've not paid anything at that point. And then I will tell you as soon as I've got 10 paying clients or 20 people in total on the call, because at that point, I'll close that session, and anybody else after that will find another date and move it then. Really love you to join me. I just can't tell you how incredible this can be. There are some testimonials on my website, which you're more than welcome to check out. I'll put that in the link down below as well. And, you get out what you put in, as they say. Sorry, I had something falling there. I was a bit worried. So, okay, without much further ado, let's get this moving then. Ready to change something, heal something, let go of something. Closing your eyes only as fast as you are ready now to be different. This meditation will take about 20 minutes. If you get interrupted, it's okay. All you need to do, deal with the interruption and come back and focus on your breathing. Whatever it is that you need to focus on. That's right. Just counting in your mind's eye each breath that you take. Maybe at the top of your breath, or you might prefer to count at the bottom of your breath. It doesn't matter. I want you to count to the number of 10. Just focusing on your breathing. Hopefully past the midway mark now. Sending a message to your body that all is well. So that as you reach the number 10, you can notice, even over the course of this week, how you're beginning to sink deeper, faster. That's right. Deeper and faster. deeper and faster. Because this is your time, your precious time. And today, we're going to take you on a journey within, focusing on your breathing as I just explained what's going to happen. Somewhere you may have heard of the film Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We're going to do something similar. I'm going to ask you to imagine some sort of vehicle, like a space vehicle, where you can jump in and jump out. So it's like a little dish with a glass dome on. And as that pulls up in front of you, I want you to see the glass lid lifting up and that you can jump in and the lid comes down. And whilst I'm talking to you about what you can see there, your spaceship is becoming smaller and smaller. And because it's outside of you, you can start to see the you sitting or lying where you are becoming bigger and bigger as you become smaller and smaller with that ship that you're going to use. And as you look, you've got some dials and buttons and things you can press and switch and turn and all manner of knobs and dials, gauges and little screens. And I don't know which one of these you'll be using. And you may not use all of them, and it's okay. So in a moment, as you become so small, so really, really small, we want you to imagine you're like the size of a speck of dust, so tiny. And you can press the go button because there's a go and a stop button. So I want you to press the go button and you can feel this vehicle lifting up and heading for you. Now, whether you go in through your ears or your nose, or maybe your mouth happens to be open, it doesn't much matter, but allow this vehicle to enter in just like a speck of dust was. So you don't even know it's there. And your unconscious mind knows that it's you. So it's going to allow it in. And I want you to find that vehicle going wherever it needs to go. So I'm going to talk to your unconscious mind for the moment. As your little ship begins to join the many different systems of the body. And your unconscious mind knows where you might need help the most. I don't know where that is. Your unconscious mind does. And it will guide your ship where it needs to go. So all you need to notice is that your ship is suddenly moving very fast through the body. And you don't know where you're going. You may not even know where in the body you are, but you're moving quite fast, along with whatever system you've joined into, whether that's an energy system, a circulatory system, an air system, who knows? Just notice what you notice about where you're going. And in a moment, I want you to notice that your ship is beginning to slow. Your unconscious mind has brought you to a space that needs some healing, some help. And as it comes to a stop, you land on something that is completely safe and secure for you. And you can watch the lid of the spaceship go up. You've got all your breathing apparatus. You're absolutely fine. If it makes you feel better, tether yourself to the spaceship. And I want you to step out and have a look around you. Something in this space is not right. Now, the unconscious talks to us in metaphor. So maybe there's a dustbin there, or maybe you can find a great big hole, or maybe you find a brick wall, or something else, something that doesn't belong, something that doesn't feel good for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to heal it and let it go. We're going to change it. and make it feel better. And the interesting thing is we can do whatever we like that makes you feel better, whatever you want that would make the difference. So as you identify whatever it is it something that you need to get rid of? And if it is, you can go back to your little vehicle and maybe there's a hoover and you can hoover it up. Doesn't matter how big it is. It's a bit like those cartoons and it'll just scoop it all up, make it small and into your vacuum cleaner. What if it's big wall? You've got a bulldozer where you can knock it down. And imagine all the bricks or whatever the wall is made of crumbling into dust. Hoover it up again. How amazing is that hoover? If it's a hole, what does it need to be filled with? And I always recommend unconditional love because there is no higher healing. Go back to your vehicle and see if you've got a hose, a bit like a fireman's hose where they move water out through their hose from the truck. Maybe you've got a bucket of unconditional love there. And because it's unconditional love, it grows. So a bit like some of the stuff that you can squirt out and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I want you to fill that hole up. I think you get the idea. It's important now that you make this space as perfect as you can. A space that needs to be whatever you need it to be. So if you want it to imagine it in the open air, imagine it being in the open air, a forest or a sea scene. If you need it to be homely and cozy, turn it into a beautiful room with a roaring fire. Whatever you want this space to be, an ideal space for you, now is your time to make those changes. And sometimes it might take a little while. You might just need to make a few changes. Arguably, you could come back at any time and make some more. Just allowing yourself to do what you need to do. I'm going to give you a few moments to make those changes, to make this as perfect as possible for you. And as you add your final touches, making it just perfect, imagining all the equipment going back into your vehicle as you hop in and the glass dome comes down. And when you're ready, pressing go and watching your vehicles take off and fly through the body again, doing whatever it needs to do to go to the next place that just might need a bit of help. And I don't know where that takes you. And you don't know, but notice that you very quickly start to slow up again as you get to the next stop. And you Find yourself coming to a halt. The whole dome goes up and you can jump out, ready to have a look round. And how's this space? What do you need to do to change here? You now understand that you can make this space whatever you need it to be. It's yours. And whatever you do, do it with love, unconditional love. And I'm just going to give you a few minutes to do what you need to do there. How is that going? Is there anything that you really need to change? Any rips or nicks and tears, dots and spots, lumps and bumps? Just making this completely perfect for you. Because it's all a form of healing. I wonder if it was appropriate, a bit like a room spray or man spray, I don't know. I want you to spray this area with unconditional universal love everywhere it needs to go now in this space. And as you spray it, you can see the small droplets falling everywhere, blanketing the whole area with love. Unconditional, universal love. Well done. Gathering together all your bits and pieces and popping them back in the vehicle, I want you to imagine jumping in yourself and the lid comes down. And now I want you to imagine, in whatever way you could imagine, that a bit like the red arrows let out a colour, a stream colour behind them, that there's something, a switch or a dial or something that you can press, that as you go through the body systems to come out through the same orifice perhaps as you went in, or maybe you're so small you can come out through the skin or somewhere else. safely, easily, and with love. But as you start to travel back towards the now, that stream of colour behind you is all the colours that you need to represent love, unconditional love, maybe confidence, but definitely healing, maybe strength, maybe worth and value. I don't know. Whatever you want, these colours can represent. As your ship begins to travel back out of the body in some way, and as it does, you can see the room you were in. It's enormous, obviously, because you're still very tiny. And as you land your vehicle, pressing the stop button, because you don't need to know any more than that, you can smile to yourself when you realize how much work you've actually done. It may not seem like much, but the interesting thing is the more you listen to this, the more you might be able to make difference to some areas that you've been experiencing aches and pains, niggles. Who knows? It's only as limited as our imagination. So starting to notice that the vehicle is beginning to get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, and you're getting bigger and bigger with it until you can step out of it and continue to get bigger and bigger until you are life size. And you can merge with that you wherever you're sitting, wherever you're laying down, and become you, bringing with you all those wonderful changes, things that will have made a difference, made the difference perhaps. And it might not be straight away that you notice anything's different. It might be later today, tomorrow, or next week even, that you'll look back and you'll be like, oh, that's changed. Who knew? So I'm going to bring you back to the room, to the count of 5. And all you need to do is to allow your unconscious mind to understand the work that's just been done and to do whatever it needs to do to help you the most, to evolve, to heal, to love. 4, coming back towards the now, bringing with you everything you need for the rest of today, tomorrow, and the days ahead, because it's all there for you. 3, bringing you back towards the now, noticing that you are becoming more aware of what's around you. 2, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. As 1, you come back into the room, opening your eyes, only ready to be as different as you need and want. Your unconscious mind has made some work changes, and all you need to do is observe and notice. Thank you. Thank you for joining me over these 5 days of 5 meditations. Please, please, please do put a comment down below if these were useful to you. And yes, please just click and register your interest if you want to find out more about my Be More You, Love Yourself More program. Really valuable program, I believe, that can take you forward in an even more constructive way than these 5 videos have done. I've really enjoyed the journey. Thank you very much. There are many more that I could have shared with you. So these were just a selection. Some of my successful ones, the ones that are well liked, and some that are new. So yes, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a really good weekend, and a warm goodbye from me, Kim Searle, Emotional Mastery. Thank you so much.